What is going on, squad? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money on the Internet podcast. And in today's episode, Cole and I do a podcast, all right?
Today is a very special day. Why? Because as of, it was actually like 2 days ago, but today, Brian and myself just hit our third ever $1 million month.
Third ever $1 million month. You know what's funny about that? Is like, typically speaking, in the past, when we've hit $1 million a month, because like we've been doing like 800,000 to 900,000 for the last like 3 months.
Yep.
But in the past, when we've hit $1 million in a month, like, dude, I was working like 14-hour days every day, fucking grinding in my DMs until 9 p.m. every night. And like this time around, it was fucking easy.
I know. And it's fucking really, really weird to hear that. And when you guys hear that, you're probably like, what the fuck do you mean it was easy? Well, we have a massive company, and that's actually what we want to talk to you guys about today. We want to talk about the back end and the systems of the company that we are currently running and creating value in, which is PT Domination. Now, you guys know Brian and myself. So when I say that, when I explain that, know that it's not going to be a very like systemized, here's 1, 2, 3 podcast. I want to make sure that we preface that right away, because whenever you hear like backends, SOPs, systems, it's fucking boring.
Yeah, I also think that like we're going to give you guys the structure of how we run our coaching business. And I just want to preface this entire conversation with like, it's really cool that we hit $1 million in 30 days. Well, it's actually 27 days. But I think the cooler part about this month, bro, is we've had 3 of our students hit $100,000 per month in the last 3 days.
It was literally the coolest thing ever. It was Jason, the group chat is where I saw the update.
Yeah, Jason Stewart and Carly Stewart. Shout out to Jason and Carly.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, we got a message from Chloe and Harry.
On Australia, Chloe and Harry in Australia. What's up?
So sick. I was amped about that one as well. And then we got sent a video where Hallie and Hector were literally refreshing, and then bing, $100,000.
$100,000. And so not to mention, Hallie's actually tuning in right now. Not to mention, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm working with Pat one-on-one.
Yep.
He's at 93K right now.
Dude. It's like
he's at 93.
The results of our students are insane right now. And it just makes me and Brian so goddamn happy, because again, like everybody hears like the $1 million a month or $800,000 a month is the success that we have seen, and we don't really show it.
Yeah.
And it's because it's become very normal for us. And again, I talked about this on podcasts the other day. Brian and myself are almost like blissfully dissatisfied where we are. Mm-hmm. So we're very good at being grateful for the current moment and appreciating the level of success that we have achieved, but we don't get higher on our own supply and then take our foot off the gas.
Yeah. I also think that like, it's so important for anybody that's listening to this right now to understand that like, you guys, everybody in this industry that we're in, which is business coaching, focuses on sales and marketing.
Yeah, they do. 100%.
Everybody focuses on sales and marketing. And because every business coach in this industry focuses on sales and marketing, they're really good at selling clients into the program and not good at delivering on the promise that they sold. And like, dude, I had, so I just did an episode of Podchats the other day. I don't know if I told you this. The first 5 people that came up for Podchats, there was 15. First 5 people that asked me questions were like, dude, like you've literally changed my fucking life so much. Like I'm so grateful that like you, like this program exists. I've had other mentors in the past, and like I wish I found you first. And it's like, dude, like that's just what we've done. So people see the success, but like I want you guys to understand that the only reason that Cole and I are able to have this level of success is because we prioritize client delivery, which we're going to talk about in this podcast.
Dude, 100%. And again, very cool thing that happened on Podchats. I didn't tell you guys, but I'll tell you right now, it made me very happy. I was going for like 2 hours or something like that. We were like just creeping up with the 2-hour mark on Wednesday when I was doing Podchats. And next thing you know, last person is about to come up. And then he's like, yo, I don't even have a fucking question. I just wanted to let everybody know here that if you're not ascending through the levels of PT Domination, listening to everything that Brian Cole says, you're fucking stupid. Love you boys. Thank you for all the value. Goodbye. I was like, bro, you've been here for 2 hours, dog.
Who was it?
I can't remember how to say his name correctly because it's spelled a little bit differently. But it was fucking cool. It was cool as fuck. I was like, that type of shit makes my entire day, because like Brian said, a lot of business coaches, a lot of business owners in general, let's remove business coach from
business owners in general.
Business owners in general are extremely good at marketing. And they're extremely good at sales. What they lack in is the delivery. And it's because like it makes sense. You want to make more money. You would like to get out of your current job. You want to build financial freedom for your life. But then you forget that when you're in the sales process, the individuals that you are taking money from are just that, people. Individuals.
Yeah.
You need to treat them as such. And as entrepreneurs, we've been in this. We've done this from time to time. I remember when we started Aesthetic Nation and started scaling it, where we just got so good at fucking marketing and sales that we would almost like just get people in. And then we started to notice the holes and we're like, oh, dude, we got to take a fucking step back. Like we got to backpedal a little bit and start doing what we fucking promised to do.
Yeah, I want to talk about this because I think that this concept that I'm going to share with you guys is the most important concept when it comes to business, when it comes to personal development, especially when it comes to scaling. Is the number one thing that has allowed me and you to scale to this level is integrity. And here's what I mean by integrity is that when we say that we are going to do something for our clients, we follow through on that promise.
Always.
When we say that we're going to show up for our clients, we show up for our clients. Like when I sell somebody on the phone and I tell them what the result they're going to get on the coaching program, or one of our guys sells somebody on the phone and we tell them the result that we're going to get in the coaching program, we do everything in our power to fulfill on that promise. And obviously, like, I can't drag the horse to water and make them drink, but anybody that's showing up for the coaching program, bro, and I mean anybody that shows up that asks the questions, like, we fulfill on our promises. And it's like, that's one of the things that we realized when we were building the gym. Is like, there's a lot of businesses that will sell you something and say, hey, this is going to be done by this time. I got you. Don't even worry. And then they're nowhere to be fucking found for like a month.
Dude, that's something that I think
it blows my fucking mind. I'm like, that's why your guys' businesses aren't growing. You're selling shit and then you're not fulfilling.
And that's the thing that it's pretty prevalent in a lot of individuals' businesses in British Columbia in general. All right. Like, I'm an Ontario boy, moved to Calgary, worked in construction in Calgary, saw businesses. We worked alongside of a lot of businesses when we started our entrepreneurial venture. I've never seen a lack of drive and want and integrity and responsibility as I have in this province.
Really?
Ever, dude. It's astronomical. The promises that people make in their businesses, whether it is online or in person, construction wise or anything else, is drastic. All right. In that breaking promise section. But the reason why we bring that up is because you guys need to learn how to follow through on them. And when it comes down to the structure of our business, we've been able to do a very good job in separating the responsibility between the employees and the people helping us to make sure that we do just that, follow through on our promises. Because we don't want to be the people that are just taking people's money and then people aren't getting results and they're pissed. And it's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like, we've had people like that in the past, but Brian and myself like truly care. And if you come into the business, you'll feel that, to the degree of like even Erica and Mark. All right. Two of our clients, they were deemed as 351, 352 students who hit 10K in the academy.
Erica and Matt.
Right? Eric and Matt. Yes. I didn't get to talk to him yet. There was a problem. So it turns out that their numbers actually got mixed up. They got sent the wrong sweaters. Somebody else got celebrated as the different number. They ended up DMing Naima instantly. I said, fucking voice notes. We started talking about it. They're like, guys, I didn't want to make this a big deal. I'm like, it's a fucking big deal to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want you to have the right hoodie. I want to make sure that everybody's fucking categorized properly. And like, that might seem like I'm blowing something out of proportion to you guys who are just listening to this, but like, Brian and myself care about that.
Yeah.
We have a list going of every student that we have ever helped hit $10,000 a month. When you hit that number, we celebrate you in our community, and then we send you a hoodie with your number, because it fucking matters. You've done something that literally like less than 1% of the population has done.
Yeah.
Been able to start a business online and hit $10,000 a month. And if you're able to keep it going for a prolonged period of time, we're going to celebrate you and make sure that you feel heard. But it's the little shit. It starts with the little shit and it gets way bigger.
I want to touch on this for a sec, because if you are running a business by yourself, right? Like, you're a one-man show or a one-woman show. Like, when you understand the concept of like integrity, meaning you have to follow through on your promises, you know, it takes a little bit of work, but it's relatively easy to do once you make the commitment.
So easy.
And guys, please hear me when I say this. If you have 10 clients and all you do is just really focus on making sure those clients get an amazing result, like if they're not checking in with you, you give them a call, you shoot them a text, you get them on track, like you do everything in your power to make sure those 10 clients win, your business will grow even if you have 100 Instagram followers, because those people are going to tell their friends. So this whole concept of like integrity and like following through on the promises is really easy-ish to do once you have, if you have a one-man show.
Yep.
Now, Cole and I have 50 people that work in our company. We have 50 people that work in our company. And the challenge, and let me know if you guys have ever experienced this, the challenge with scaling a business is that I'm no longer dealing with the customers on the front line at all times. It's like, because we have 50 people that work for a company, oftentimes it's like me, and then there's somebody else that deals with this thing, and then they've got somebody that checks in with them. And so I'm like the third line up of like communication in this process. So my question to you, and I want to pose this to the audience because I think it's going to be valuable. What do you think that we do in order to make sure that like the integrity and the follow through happens, not only with me and you, but on every member of our team?
I want you guys to think about that answer for a minute. All right, I want you guys to think about that answer. What do you feel like Brian and myself do? What do you feel like is the separating factor between you doing everything and then you having a team of people helping you teach, coach, serve, align others with your goals? Do you want to start it? Or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Cool. My thing is very simple. I build people and the people build the business. The reason why, if you guys are watching this on any video platform, if you're on the audio platform, you might hear me slapping a book right now. I have all of my core values and my principles written down on this fucking booklet. All right, on this little journal. And my goal when we separated departments in the company, Brian is the head of marketing and sales. I'm the head of delivery and operations. When it came down to doing this, I realized very quickly, like, okay, I'm good and I can talk to a lot of people, but I'm shit at systems. I just am. I'm good at building the people who have the systems, and I'm really good at delivering a product. So when we separated and we started to put people in place, I just basically tried to turn them into me. That was the goal. All right. I know that I operate from all these core values: honesty, discipline, ambition, love, integrity, creativity, responsibility. All right. I've even made it more simple than that: responsibility, simplicity, and a relentless work ethic. And then when it comes down to the principles that I have, I won't read them all to you guys because they're intense and they're very long, but I make everybody align with these principles and with these core values. And by doing that, everybody operates with the same passion, drive, grit as Brian and myself.
Can I ask you a follow-up question? Because I'm sure that people in the audience are going to want to hear this because you're really good at this. What do you do to get people to operate with the same core values that you do? Like if you can think about like some tangible things that you do or have done, like what would they be?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I lead by example. And I feel like I need to say that first because it's very important. I can't expect one of the coaches on my team or a person in operations or anybody in PT domination for that matter to listen to what I am saying or what you are saying if I am not doing it first.
Yep.
So if we need coaching done in the community, I'm the first one to put up my hand. If we need comments replied to in the community, I'm the first one to put up my hand. If I need somebody to step up when it comes down to an event, I'm the first one to put up my hand. You guys, if you're in our company right now, you know that I am at the event before anybody in our entire team, other than maybe Britzy, because she's the one making the calls.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm backstage figuring out the audio, the visual, the camera work, everything, because it matters. So the first is leading by example. The second is making them aware of the situations and coaching them as much as I can. So let's say we're just talking about the accountability in our Facebook group. Okay, Brian and myself have a very strict rule that everything is answered within 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, I'm a little bit more lenient on the weekend due to the fact that I understand that our coaches want to take some time off and our clients want to take some time off, but we still have people in there answering the questions and make sure that they are fulfilled. I go into the community once a day and answer as much as I possibly can. And I audit the answers of the individuals that are supposed to be representing me and Brian. What I will do to make sure they operate as me, make sure that they do something, is I will view, audit, and then evaluate them on a call that I have once a month, which rolls me into point number 2. I currently have, if I'm not mistaken, 15 coaches and 11 leaders. 15 coaches and 11 leaders underneath me right now that help us run our 4 communities: onboarding, CLA, 10K mastermind, $1 million mastermind. 300 people in onboarding, 1,200 in the CLA, 150 in the 10K mastermind, 100 in the $1 million mastermind.
175 in the 10K mastermind.
Perfect. 175, which is fucking great.
Who's
That makes
counting?
me happy. That's fucking lit. Who's counting? So yeah, I have the 15 coaches and 11 leaders. And what I do is on a monthly basis, I have a one-on-one call with each and every one of those individuals. Now, when we first implemented this one-on-one approach, I didn't really know how to run it. So I just kind of humanized it at the beginning. I was like, okay, like what can I do to help? What are you struggling with? And I quickly realized that our coaches just needed to be heard just as much as our clients did. You see, in order to run a fitness business, in order to run any business, you need to serve the customer. And we do so good at serving the customer as long as you're a good business. But then when we start a team, we just treat them like shit. And they're like, shut the fuck up, work harder. Like, you don't treat them the same. I just started treating my team the same way I would treat my customers. So I would do a one-on-one with each person on a monthly basis. It's 30 minutes long. So it takes a significant amount of the time at the beginning of each month for me. But the whole call is focused on them. Brian, how are you? What's going on in your life? How's the family? What's going on in your business? What's your social media doing? How can I serve you more? We spend the entire time on that. How can I help you? Because I know you won't ask a question to my group because you're insecure about not knowing, looking like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the call, I level with them. I'm like, is that all good? They all get value. And then I look them in the eyes and I say, how can I be a better leader for you? What can I do to better serve you? Is there anything that you want to bring to me that you see that we need to fix in the group? And honestly, some of the craziest changes we have seen in our community over the last year to 2 years has come from those calls where I just listen to my team, I listen to my coaches, and I fucking improve. Whether it's them calling me out on something that I fucked up on, or me addressing somebody else in the company because they're making everybody else feel uncomfortable, or me kicking out clients and not giving a fuck that we're losing their payment because I'm not going to let you disrespect my coaches, or us switching a program and a back-end operation system that helped us take our cancellation rate from like 40 to 60 a month. Dude, we didn't go over 20 yet. Oh, and that 20 is including graduations and people that we kicked out because they were being disrespectful. Like, we've had the lowest amount of cancellations this month that we've ever had. So my biggest thing with building people was leading by example and fucking listening. Like, how can I pour into you? Because the only thing I know how to be is Cole DaSilva.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to be Brian Mark or anybody else. So I'm like, I'm just going to try to take all my value that I know I have. I'm going to pour into you. And then I'm going to look you in the face and be like, how do I improve? Because I truly still believe that I'm a fucking nobody, that I'm just a regular dude. I don't think I'm special at all. So I'm like, me leveling and humanizing myself on a monthly basis, I feel like has completely transformed the way our business is ran.
Boom. That was valuable. Let us know. That was great. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
So so building people is one of the first concepts that has really allowed us to scale the business. Now, point number 2 that I think that we do really well, and this is something that we learned in a mentorship program with, our OG mentor, Tacky Moore, shout out to the GOAT, a few years ago. And it is key people, key indicators. Now, here's what I mean by that is when Cole and I first started the business, we were doing everything all across the place. All of us were in all departments. Cole was doing some sales. Cole was doing some marketing for PT Domination. I was doing coaching. Cole was doing coaching. I was doing DMs. Cole was doing DMs. We were literally doing everything. And
I was also building the fucking website.
You were also building the website. Yeah. So like we were all doing everything. So like the problem with that model is like when you've got, and this is another thing I want to touch on before I get into this, is I think that one of the insights that I had that I wanted to share with you, almost every person that has hit $100,000 this month has done it with somebody.
Dude, 100%. I literally talked about this on podcast
yesterday. It was Jason Carly,
yes,
Chloe and Harry, Ali and Hector. Even if you think about Don Lamb had a fucking crazy good team that he built.
The fact that you're bringing this up gets me amped. I literally went on a fucking 15-minute rant about this the other day. I was like, this whole concept of self-made is fucking stupid.
Even
you need a team.
Patty Lifts.
Yes, dude.
Patty Lifts was the same fucking thing.
Dude, it's lift fucking coaching. They have so many goddamn coaches. This whole mentality of like, you can do it on your own and I fuck everybody else and I'm just going to try grind it out myself, I think it's dumb as fuck. You need people.
Yeah, I agree. You need people. And so like, first things first is like, if you guys want to grow a big business, like $1 million business, you need people.
You just do.
You need people. And like, I would recommend having like 2 high-level individuals that are building the business together, which is what Cole and I did.
Yes.
Now, that by itself, just combining forces with another powerhouse individual will help you get the result faster. Is it possible to hit $100,000 a month on your own? Yes. I know coaches that have done it, and there's been people that have done it, but like, I would say 70 to 80% of the people that have done it, that have worked in our ecosystem, have done it with the team.
I would also say 70 to 80% of the individuals that have hit it in our ecosystem did it with a team. And the reason why we would suggest you go down that route is because those people have better services and businesses, period.
I agree.
Like, dude, I'm not going to name any names, but I know people that are running like $500 to $3 million a month businesses, and their names are getting trashed online because they sell an individual into the program due to what Brian said at the beginning, good at marketing and sales, but then they can't deliver because they don't have fucking people.
Yep.
It's just them.
Yep.
And no shit, they can't deliver. When you sell 30 people in 1 week and you pull in fucking 500K, like you can't fucking deliver 30 individual programs that actually help a person. You just can't. It's not a knock on you. There's only so much a human being can do.
Yeah, I agree. So key people, key indicators. Here's what this means is, so Cole and I, from the top down, we have different departments that we're responsible for. I'm responsible for getting clients. Cole's responsible for keeping clients. Those roles have been completely separated, and we have our own responsibilities in those departments. My responsibility is to make sure that we get over 100 clients per month coming in. That's the standard. Cole's responsibility is to make sure our retention rate stays over 93%. So we have key people, key indicators. Now, that model from the top down is also how we run our company, because, it's me and Cole at the top as the CEOs. And then we have operations, we have marketing, we have our setting team, we have our sales team, and we have our coaching team. And within each of these departments, there is a key person that is responsible for that department. And there's a key indicator that this person is responsible for
100%.
in marketing, in sales, in setting, in coaching, in all of it. Like I know that Josh gets you his retention numbers every month. I know that Janelle gets you the retention numbers for the 10K. I know that, you know what I mean? Like every department has a key person and then a key indicator. Now,
go ahead.
So I was going to say, so like, I think for you guys listening, you're like, how do I define the key indicators for each department? Because that might be the next question that you have.
Yeah.
So for us, what we did is Cole and I took the numbers that we were doing when we were doing the thing, and then we set the goal of our team to be able to do those same numbers. So as an example, for me, I'm responsible for sales. Now, when I was doing all the sales myself and I was responsible for bringing clients in, I was doing 100 to 120 a month.
Yes.
And so as we built out the team, that was the standard that we held in our business until we hit it.
Yes.
And there was a period in time, and this was like 2020, end of 2022 to around end of 2023, where I was rebuilding the Real Brian Mark Instagram account, where we were only selling 80 to 90 clients a month, where we used to sell 100 to 120 clients a month.
Yeah.
And in that time frame, we still had the goal, the key indicator of 100 sales a month. Like that was it. So then we have to break that number down even further to the people that are in each department. And then we have to go like, okay, if our goal is 100 sales per month, well, how many sales calls do we need to book in order to get 100 sales per month? I'm like, we close one in every 3 calls. Yeah. So that means we need to book 300 sales calls to get to that goal of 100 sales a month.
Yes.
But our show rate is 70% for our sales calls. So if it's 70%, we actually have to book 400 sales calls to get 300 sales calls to show up, in which we can close 100 clients.
Yes.
Then it's like, okay, if that's the amount of sales calls we need to book, who's responsible for booking the sales calls? Then we go look at that department and we figure out like, who are the people in this department that contribute to booking the sales calls? Then we're like, okay, your responsibility is to start 100 new conversations per day, every day, to make sure that the inbox is always flowing.
Fuck yes.
Your responsibility is to pass at least 20 of those conversations per day to somebody that can book the call. Your responsibility is to book at least 3 phone calls per day, every day that you're on shift. And then if you do that, and this next person does their job, and this next person does their job, we will hit our total goal of sales calls booked for the month. So it's key people, key indicators. Guys, every single person in our company that has a role is responsible for an indicator.
Dude, 100%. And I want to pause there for 1 second because that was a lot. All right. And I need you guys to hear it. So if you got to rewind it, do it. If you got to listen to it 5 times, do it. Because a consistent theme that Brian and myself see in all levels of coaching, and also in the VIP coaching we do that is outside of PT domination with random clients that we have had, dog coaches, real estate agents, and more. A lot of you guys don't know your fucking numbers. Listen, I'm not a math whiz. Okay. I'm just not. I don't enjoy it. Brian can do math in his head instantaneously. However, when it comes down to my money and my numbers, my brain turns on instantly. Right? Because the key indicators, when you're breaking it down, it's all just reverse engineering the process. A lot of you guys have no idea how to do this. You're just like, well, I want to hit 10K. And I'm like, well, how many clients is that? Well, I'm like, how much do you charge a month?
I literally just did a video on this. I'm about to post it today.
Dude,
it's fucking hilarious.
It's a regular thing. I'm like, dude, it's fucking simple. You want to make 10K a month? How much do you charge? Divide the 10K by how much you charge. You'll know how much clients you need. And again, if you have a 50% close rate, you need to do double the calls in order to do it. It's literally that simple on the sales side. And when it comes down to the delivery side, it's pretty much the same fucking thing. All right, guys, just to pull the curtains back a little bit, all right, onto the delivery side with the, again, 15 coaches, 11 leaders. We have 2 main coaches in the onboarding, 3 main coaches in the CLA. We're actually going to be making it 4 main coaches in the 10K mastermind, and technically 4 main coaches in the $1 Million Mastermind, even though we have more than that, but it's more of like guest appearances and helping out here and there. Each one of them has an individual time that they need to be in each group for a certain amount of time, and they need to hit a certain amount of posts to make sure that the value is provided. Janelle is in charge of the $1 Million Mastermind. Josh is in charge of the CLA. Ed is in charge of overseeing the onboarding, and Alex is in charge of the 10K mastermind. Each of them have a retention rate that they need to hit. They need to keep the engagement over a certain level. They need to bring any fires to me on a weekly basis. And on top of that, Janelle is also the person who helps us with the back end operations of each level and the $1 Million Mastermind check-ins. On top of that, we have Shal doing momentum calls, meaning if an individual is out of momentum on our program, she gets on the call to make sure that they feel heard and seen. And then we have another person in the back end named John who helps us up with renewals, make sure that individuals get picked up, heard, and get a game plan to move forward. So he'll spend 30 to 40 minutes on a phone call with you, giving you a game plan to make sure that you can implement all this stuff into the program. And I get on a call with them once a week. We go through all of the numbers for each individual groups. We see if there's any negative trends or positive trends. We look at the clients through a yellow, red, green light system. We're even actually optimizing it more because I'm just anal and I fucking want to.
Yeah.
And we dive into it. And on top of all of that, we look at how people are responding to the trainings we're posting and the group stuff that we have and the vibe of the community. Everything is reversed down to emotions and numbers, right? What's the vibe and what are the numbers reflecting? And that's how we look at it when it comes to the retention.
It's funny because when it comes to retention, everybody write this down because this is really important. This is something that Patty Liv said. Like we've talked about this, but the way that he said it just really clicked. People will stay because of results and connection.
100%.
People will stay because of results and connection. Like if you can get your clients great results, but you have no personal connection to them or they have no connection to the community, they're not going to stick around.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if you've got a great relationship with the client, but the result is dog shit because you're not fulfilling on the promise and the trainings aren't good or your program isn't good, they're not going to stick around. They might like you.
Yeah.
They might be like, yo, I really fuck with you, but I'm not getting the result. So if you guys want clients to stick around, then it's connection and results. And so I think it's really good that you pay attention to like the vibe of the community because I think that's huge. And for us in the sales team, it's not necessarily a vibe because sales is more of like coaching, I think is more of a vibe once they're your customer.
Yeah.
But I think sales is more of a skill,
100%.
right? And the reason that sales is a skill is because I know that not every person that requests to join the coaching program is going to join. It's just a numbers game. I know that for a fact. And so if we only do a good job at making sure that the customer feels seen once they're sold, then, if we're converting 33% of the people that come in, what about the other 66%?
Yeah.
Like, how is the relationship with those people? And so for me on the sales team, it's the numbers for sure. And making sure that like we are hitting our targets, we are hitting our numbers. And also it's like our rule in the sales team is that every single prospect gets left better than you found them.
Yes.
Every single one.
Yes.
And so if somebody requests to join the community, requests to join the coaching program, really wants to join, doesn't have the finances or isn't the right time, like my team is never like, okay, well, fuck you. It's like my team is like, okay, well, listen, thank you so much for having the conversation with us today. If there's ever anything that we can do to help you out, if there's ever any value I can provide you, like, do you need a DM script? Do you need a phone script? Is there anything that I can do to help you out? And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. Bam, phone script, bam, DM script. I'm like, oh, also there's like a 20-minute training that we recorded that we think might be valuable for you. And we make sure that every single person is left better than we found them. So for us in the sales department, it's like I really focus on developing the skills of my salespeople. And the way that we develop skills is really simple, you guys. Please write this down. It's really fucking simple. 30 minutes a day, every day, 5 days a week, I'm training.
Yep.
Now, you might ask yourself, what are you doing to train your staff? I'm so glad you asked. If you know how to sell and you know how to DM, then spend 30 minutes per day, every day, going over DMs with your people on your team and show them exactly what to do. Show them like, okay, I didn't like that you said this. Instead, say this. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Can you repeat it back to me? Okay, now I want you to practice what I just said in the next conversation with the next prospect. Okay, I'm going to watch you do that. That was great. Let's change this little thing. This is why we're changing that thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? You do? Okay, great. Repeat it back to me. And I'm like, I'll just do that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And then with the sales team, the guys that are actually doing the calls, it's like, bro, I just spend time with them.
Yep.
I literally just spend time with them.
Yes.
I'll literally like role play with them. And like, one of my guys would be like, yesterday I was on a call with the prospect and they told me that they were checking out other options and they just wanted to, see what we had to offer. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Let's role play that. Yep. I'll sell them based off of what I know. And then once I sell them, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I want you to practice with me.
Yes.
And then I'll get them to practice with me. And then I'll do that in front of the rest of the team. So the rest of the team is getting benefit. They're taking notes. Then once I do that role play, I'm like, does that make sense? Was that clear? They're like, yes. And then I'll be like, okay, Luke, what did you learn from that? And then Luke says what he learns from that.
Yes, dude.
So it's like that, like guys, it's literally that simple. It's like a lot of people overthink having a team in a business. And I also think that a lot of people fuck up with like the responsibility of the business. And Cole and I both, I think let's get into number 3. So we've got build the people. We've got key people, key roles. I think thing number 3 that's built our business, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is extreme ownership.
Yeah, 100%.
Extreme ownership.
Taking it in every situation.
Which means that like
points where we've literally had to let people go due to our own neglect and ignorance when it came down to money and not understanding how to do it. And we've literally dealt with it. We've reached months where Brian and myself didn't fucking take payouts because we fucked up and literally just paid our team because we needed to make sure that they could pay their bills and fucking put food in their plates.
If somebody fucks up on my sales team and says some dumbass shit on a sales call makes a promise that like we can't fulfill, I send a voice note, completely understand, 100% apologize.
Yeah.
I like take full responsibility. How can I solve this problem for you? What do you need from me?
Literally
It's never the person's fault on my team. It's always my fucking fault.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. And that's literally the same thing with the 10K sweaters yesterday. Even though it was not a big deal, it's a big deal to me because it fucking matters. And we built systems when we put things in place to make sure that our clients get the best experience possible. But I also understand that we are not robots. We're human beings. And we can try to use all these automation tools and all these systems as much as we can, but things are still going to break in the process. But the characteristics of a good leader is that they are willing to take the responsibility on the chin based on what their team does, because their team is a reflection of them. It's just how it is. Like your team is a direct reflection of you and your leadership skills. So if they fuck up, take it on the chin, because that is your fault in some aspect, And the reason why I'm so intense with the radical responsibility, and I even push it down to all of my leads in each individual group, is due to the fact that we can't blame. The person doesn't care. They don't give a shit.
Never.
Like if somebody fucks up on a sales call and then it gets to you and then you call that person and you're like, well, my guy he just wasn't trained. He doesn't care. That person's going to be like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
Dude,
like,
this literally happened yesterday. So there was a guy that got missed. He was on the calendar. He was really excited to talk to us. Wanted the Black Friday deal.
I did see that.
And then we missed his call. And it was like 20 minutes. And he's like, yo, where's the guy? Like, what the fuck? Like, you guys wasted my fucking time. And I'm like, I sent him a voice note. I was like, I agree. I'm really fucking sorry. We did waste your fucking time and I accept full responsibility. And I understand why you're upset. And if you don't want to book a call in the future, I completely get it, because when people waste my time, I fucking hate it. So I apologize. Be like, is there anything I can do for you? Can I get you rebooked into the calendar? And like, if you do decide to rebook into the calendar, I will make sure that your call is a top priority because I care about you and I want you to win. And he messaged me back. He's like, thank you for saying that. He's like, I'd love to rebook.
I like that.
But it's like that, like, it's not my guy's fault.
No,
it's my fucking fault. And then I go to my guy afterwards and I'm like, hey, this is not how we do shit here.
We can't let this happen again.
And this is the thing, because I want to have this conversation in regards to like how to actually lead people, because I think a lot of people fuck this up. Like, I think a lot of people get this wrong. Is if somebody makes a mistake in your company, right? A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just go and fix the mistake, and then they'll never address the situation and raise the standard. And then they'll just get mad at this person that's making this mistake in their business instead of just having a conversation with them. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if there's a mistake that happens in your business and it needs to be rectified, like, yes, you can go in there and you can show that you accept full responsibility. And guys, as the CEO of a $1 million a month business, that might be a quote unquote time waster to go into my DMs and send a personal voice note to show this prospect that isn't even paying me that I care. But I think that fucking matters.
It does.
Like, I think that shit matters.
Same.
And so I will go above and beyond to make sure that that happens. And also, I'm going to have a meeting with my guy and be like, dude, that cannot happen again. Like, this is a warning. This next time it happens, it's a write-up. The next time it happens, you're fired. And it's like, that's what we do. And then I'm like, okay, do you understand that can't happen again? He's like, yes. And then I'm like, all right, great. So why did this happen? Break this down for me. Like, what caused you to miss the call? And then he'll be like, well, I had this thing happen and this thing, and then I forgot to check this. I'm like, okay, perfect. What sort of process do we need to put in place so that this never happens again?
That's it.
And that's it. Because most people, what they do when they have people that are on their team, when somebody's fucking up, they're like, oh, this guy's an idiot.
Dude, and
this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. No shit. You haven't trained him.
That shit makes me the most mad in the entire world, because what happens, basically what you were doing is you would like to scale a business that makes multiple 6 to 7 figures. Okay. You want to create a company that makes you an astronomical amount of money so you can have financial freedom for you, your family, your life, whatever the case may be. And then when you have team members underneath you that mess up because they are human beings, instead of addressing it like an adult, building a process to fix it so it doesn't happen in the future, you fix it yourself and then become passive aggressive. And then talk shit about the person that is spending their time helping you achieve your dreams. And that shit makes no sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me.
Preach it, brother.
At all. You guys need to learn how to, again, take responsibility and then address the situation like an adult. And I actually have a process for this that you could take into your own life. If you are building a team right now, I need you to write this down. Nurture, bark, bite. Nurture, bark, bite.
Write it down.
I literally taught Brett this the other day. I taught a bunch of people about this stuff as well. It's a writer downer.
It's a writer downer.
It's a writer downer. Nurture, bark, bite. Now, what does this mean? When an individual messes up on your team, the first thing you should not do is instantly address it publicly in front of everybody else. How would you feel if I saw you mess up in public and then in front of your parents, your girlfriend, your friends, I was like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. This can't happen again. You're probably going to want to fight. So I don't do it like that. I pull them to the side, or I call them personally, or I separate the situation. I do it on my one-on-one call, and I have a nurturing conversation. Listen, I saw this mess up. Where did this happen? What happened? Did I not teach you properly? Did I mess up somewhere? Radical responsibility goes with nurture. Everything is my fault here. I don't even care if you messed it up. I apologize because I didn't give you the right resources to make sure this didn't happen in the past. Done. Perfect. Awesome. Let's move on. If it happens again, that's when Papa Cole comes out and I fucking bark. And I still lead with radical responsibility, but I'm a lot more fucking stern. I'm like, listen, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, half a year ago. Why is this still happening? We created a process. Did I mess it up somehow? What's going on? Well, no, like I just wasn't really feeling it like it today. I'm barking. You're going to get a bark from me because this process either messed with one client's program, one client's journey, or a lot of their journeys. That's not acceptable to me. Now, the reason why I have bite at the end is because I audit how you react in process 2.
Mm-hmm.
When I bark, I'm auditing your reaction in the company. I don't expect you to play at the same level as me and Brian because you do not own our company, but I do expect you to have the same want and desire to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So when I bark, I gauge you. If you shy down, back down, take responsibility, I go straight back to nurture. We rectify the situation. We keep on pushing. If you push back, get aggressive, get confrontational, make excuses, you're probably going to get fired right then and there because I don't play that game. I'm 100% about radical responsibility and rectifying the situation to make sure that we can progress forward. Because again, we're very happy with our company size. Well, we are blissfully dissatisfied with being at where we are right now, and we want more. And the only way that's going to happen is through people. We can't do it on our own. So we need people who display a certain type of characteristics, values, and principles in our lives, period. So that's the framework I use for every single person on our team that's ever come into our network.
I think that leads us into point number 4, which I think is absolutely fucking beautiful because I think it leads into one of the things you said is you're like, we're blissfully dissatisfied with where we are, but we want to grow more. And which leads us to point number 4. This is super fucking important is the vision comes first. Everything else comes second.
Yep.
The vision comes first. Everything else comes second. And that applies to Cole and myself and everybody on the team because Cole and I know exactly what kind of company that we want to build. Do we have that poster in here anywhere?
It's in the garage.
So there's a poster in the garage that Cole has. It's hanging in the garage, and it's our PT domination core values in our company. And so our clients are raving fans. Our company culture is fire. Everybody leaves us positive reviews. We over deliver to every single client. You know, we're always integral. We're always functional. We're all leaders. We know what kind of company we want to have. Okay. We're very committed to that type of company. These are the core values that you must have in order to be in our company. And if you are in our company and you are embodying those core values, not only will you be better for our company, you'll be better for your life. Because this is like, these are the core values and principles that we've used to transform our life. And so the vision comes first, everything else comes second, means that Cole and I are both very committed to doing whatever it takes to fulfill on this vision, to be these guys, to be, let's see that. I love that.
That's big ass.
That's big ass vision board. Big ass vision board.
Gigantic thing,
I'm not gonna
dude.
be able to see it, but I'll read it. So we've got 100% integrity to service, which means our clients come first.
Yep.
We've got growth-oriented internal culture, which means the people that are in our business are always growing.
Yes.
We've got the #1 rated business coaching program for online fitness coaches, no matter what. We've got a no in-house policy bullshit meter, which basically means if you cause bullshit in our company, we have zero tolerance.
Yeah, zero.
Whatsoever. Zero. Customers are raving fans. We outwork everyone. We're leaders by example. We're energetic and enthusiastic. And we've got over 500 million followers combined, which is sweet because we're on the fucking way to that.
Yes.
Guys, so like that comes first, which basically means if Cole and I ever have a disagreement, which we do,
yes,
it's like we look at the vision and it's not even, Cole and I are so committed to this that we don't even need to look at the vision anymore.
No.
We just think. So like if we have a disagreement and one person feels really strongly that their opinion is going to get us closer to the vision, the other person's like, okay.
Dude, it's not even an argument anymore. It's literally like okay, cool. It was funny. I saw a music video behind the scenes, like, I don't even know, like audit, breakdown, whatever. But it was MGK on Lonely Road.
Yeah.
Okay. And during the music video, they had to make one of the girls like cry for the cinematic shot. And he's like, bro, can I just like blow menthol cigarettes in her eyes to like make her cry? And she was like, why don't I just use water? And he's like, you know what? I'll shut the fuck up. Like, you do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. And then he came back like a minute later. He's like, by the way, like, that's not me being like mean. He's like, I'm just going to shut the fuck up. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care as long as we get the shot. And when I heard that, I laughed because there's a lot of times where individuals just see me and Brian have conversations and I'll say something, then he'll say something. And then I'll be like, I think this is what we need to do. And he'll be like, whatever, do whatever you want. And like, some people are like, Is that okay? And like vice versa. I'm like, yeah, it's because we don't give a fuck about arguing. We're just like, that person feels like a little bit more swayed in one direction, meaning they have a deeper passion towards doing the thing that's going to get us to the vision. Dope. Sounds good. Do it.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because we trust each other. We have two different apartments. We're rowing in the same direction. We have the ultimate goal that we are heading towards. And we know that we're going to fucking die on the same old man fucking porch as each other. So that's it. We're headed there.
Yeah.
Period.
And so that mentality of vision first, everything else second, also applies to the people that are in our life.
Yeah.
Because there's like, dude, we've had people in our company that were like second highest from me and you, and they're no longer with us because their core values and the way that they showed up and the way that they acted did not align with how our company is supposed to be.
They were shady.
And so like, and now they're gone. And like, that's the mentality, you guys, is like, when you're growing a company, I want you to write this down because this is so fucking important. And if you understand this, like, you will be able to grow a massive business. When you're growing a company, culture is everything. Culture is literally fucking everything. And if you don't have a good culture within your business, your people don't like talking to each other. Your people don't like communicating with each other. People are getting in arguments with each other and you're not dealing with it. That will be the thing that will hold you back faster than anything, because I want you guys to imagine that there's 5 people rowing a boat on each side. And like, I would say 3 of them are rowing forward and 2 of them are rowing backwards, right? If 2 people are rowing backwards and the other 3 are rowing forwards, like, you're not going to get anywhere very fucking fast. You might make a little bit of progress, but you're not going to fucking douche. Versus you got homeboy in the boat next to you. Everybody is not only rowing in the same direction, but they're fucking pumped. They're singing, they're fucking dancing, they're like laughing while they're rowing. Like that boat's going. Dude, and that's how I view our company. Is like, our culture is so valuable to us, and anybody that threatens the safety, the security, the integrity of our organization just isn't with us anymore. And it's not because we're dicks or we're bad people or we blah, blah, blah. It's like, the only thing we care about is making sure our customers get a good experience, our clients get a good experience, our prospects get a good experience, the people in our business are honest, we're integral, we follow through on our promises, and we over deliver to our clients. And that's the frameworks that we think through. And if you're on our team to do that, then you'll be with us forever. And if you do not uphold those core values, we just don't have space for you.
Dude, 100%. And it's funny because you said like that boat's just going, right? Now, we didn't say the speed that the boat is going at. We're not saying that if you do that, you're going to see success tomorrow. It still might take you a long motherfucking time. And one of the people that you kicked off the boat might have been a harder rower and could have maybe got you there faster. However, in the meantime, you probably had 3 other people jump in the ocean because they didn't want to be around that person. Right? There's an analogy about a football draft. Did you hear this?
I don't know.
Before?
Yeah.
So there was 2 coaches and they're talking about the football draft that was coming up. And when the best player stepped up to the fucking podium and everybody started fucking voting on him, the coach said no and passed. And he's like, why the hell would you pass on that, dude? He's like, number 1 draft pick in the game. He's like, because he's like, that guy is the party animal. He's the individual that on Friday night gets everybody riled up and goes to party. And then guess what happens in practice the next day?
They're all screwed.
No, he shows up and he wins and he gets a bunch of baskets, but everybody else who went with him can't perform. And I was like, that's a cool analogy. And then they explained it more. And he's like, you know why I picked the 6th pick overall? Because that one is going to convince everybody else not to go out. And he's like, and that's what matters. It's having people on your team that might not be the best, might not be the most talented, might not be the most skilled, but are the most driven, but are the most coachable, but have the best values and best principles that embody in their soul. Like, I don't give a fuck how skilled you are or how talented you are. But if you got grit, determination, and are coachable, I will literally ride with you forever. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about talent, dude. I'm all about coachable skills. I'm all about core values because that's literally what made me. I didn't have the talent to get here. I didn't know I was going to be a born and bred entrepreneur. I used to be fucking some random 9-to-5 worker. And then just because of the fact that I had a little bit of passion and some work ethic, we ended up building this shit. So I'm like, that's who I want on my team. Because again, it all comes down to what we said at the beginning. Like, you need fucking people, guys. You need a team. We are running a business that makes $1 million a month. We just hit our 3rd ever $1 million month. That is $333 a day, by the way. We just made what 55% of our population makes a year in one day, every day for 30 days straight. I did the math because I was fucking blown away. And we could not have done that without our team, period. Because guess what? I'm also going to level with you even harder here. Brian mentioned it a little bit at the beginning. I want you to expose it for a second. How hard do you work every day right now with the team that we currently have?
Dude, so
compared to before?
I would say right now, the time that I need to be in the business is 3 hours a day.
Same.
The time that I absolutely need to be in the business is 3 hours a day.
How crazy is that?
The time that I spend in the business is probably
definitely
7 to 8.
Yes.
But the time that I need to be in the business, 3 hours a day.
Dude, and it is because we've set it up properly, from our executive assistants to our VAs, to our operation team, to our coaching team, to our leadership team. It's all working like a crazy oiled machine right now, because I'm the same way. I was actually graceful enough, fucking blissful enough. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Thankful enough, whatever, to be able to take off that 4 weeks that I went to Portugal with my familia, be able to experience that with my grandmother. I probably checked into the business an hour to an hour and a half a day to make sure that you were good, to make sure that my coaching team was good, and to make sure that my EA was good, and that I focused on my family like I wanted to.
That's cool.
And our retention slayed it, and our coaches performed at one of the highest peaks they've ever performed at.
Yeah,
because we built the fucking people and we implemented everything else we talked about today.
So if you guys are trying to build a massive business, I would listen to this podcast again, write everything down over and over again. This is a podcast that you're going to want to save. I want to do a shameless plug. These Amarok hats, y'all see me and Cole wearing, AmarokAesthetics.com. That's AMAROK aesthetics, AESTHETIC, AmarokAesthetics.com. You guys can get these brand new hats, bruh. Brand new hats, bruh.
Super happy.
There's also a Black Friday sale going on. There's up to 70% off some of the stuff on the website.
Yeah.
So if you like me, you like Cole, you like wolves, and you're a G, then go to AmarokAesthetics.com and grab some shit.
100%, dude. Shit's flying off the shelves. Do not miss out.
That's it. That's all. Where do they find you?
Wake with the Wolf podcast, or main things, YouTube and Instagram, Cole Lewis DaSilva.
And you can find me at Brian Mark on YouTube, the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast on Apple, Spotify, iTunes, or the Real Brian Mark on Instagram. And yo, we about to hit 303,000 followers. So go follow me, because you could be the 303,000, and that would be pretty fucking cool. Peace.
Yeah, there we go.
Guys, that's it.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at The Real Brian Mark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.